welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Listen, I recently saw a conversation going on in a couple different boxing communities between Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Javon Snake Davis. If you had to kick one out of the boxing world, who would it be? But before we get into that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, send it to your friends, your family, your sister, your whoever. Let's get right into it, y'all. So basically, people are trying to argue who out of all these guys is really not necessary in the boxing game. And listen, man, as much as I hate to say it, Gervonta Tank Davis. Uh, I know some people are going to say Gervonta Tank Davis is much more skilled than a Ryan Garcia. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. The problem is that the reason I would keep Ryan over Gervonta is Ryan has actually fought two out of these four guys. Ryan has fought Gervonta Tank Davis, and he lost. And he fought Devin Haney, and he won. Now, as far as the whole thing of is who's more skilled, obviously, my personal opinion, out of all three of them or out of all four of them, Shakur's more skilled. But simply just having the skills does not mean I would want to keep you in the ring. Javon Davis, all due respect, has not fought that great a competition. He's fought a couple guys that have notable names. Leo Santa Cruz, that came up two weight classes to fight him, where he got that spectacular knockout. But again, he made Leo Santa Cruz come up two weight classes. Lamont Roach, obviously that whole thing going on there. Pitbull Cruz, if some of you consider Pitbull Cruz a notable name, things of that nature. But all due respect to all these guys, not including Santa Cruz, because that's a different story, but the other guys, I don't consider them highly skilled. I don't consider Ryan highly skilled. Does he have skills? Absolutely. But he just constantly slacking and slacking and slacking. But anyways, Gervonta Nick Davis has been out of the ring now for quite some time, and a number of people have said it, man. The boxing world moves on. When you're out of the game, when you say I'm gonna retire and all these things, the boxing world's not gonna cry for you, man. They're gonna be like, okay, next, and move on to the next big thing. So my personal opinion, Gervonta's gonna have to be the one to leave. Listen, Devin Haney, Big Debo, he's been trying to get them fights. He was trying to get that fight with Shakur. He was trying to get that fight with Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis outright backing out of the fight. And Shakur, listen, I'll be honest with you, Shakur's a big diva, but the facts of the matter is the dude's got skills. He's been fighting. He's been doing his thing. He just, put a beat down on Teofimo Lopez not that long ago. So yeah, man, out of all these guys, if I had to push one of them out, Gervonta Tank Davis is the one that I would have to push out. All, respect to him. I like him. For many, many times, I actually stood up for him. Situations I probably shouldn't have stood up for him when it came to boxing. But listen, if one has to go, in my personal opinion, Gervonta Tank Davis got to go. What do you think about that, my man?
Yeah, I definitely do think, as far as lasting boxing legacy, of the four, Gervonta Tank Davis seems to be the one that hasn't really left any sort of big stamp. Yes, he's absolutely the man when it comes to 135 boxers in the current era. But again, if you're going to be the man at one weight division, it doesn't really count a whole lot, especially in the modern era. I mean, at the very least, I understand Shakur is the man at 140, but at the very least, he has a little bit more of a notable resume than would a Tank Davis, at least in my opinion anyway. And Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, for their credit, they've won belts in two different divisions. So automatically, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, even though I don't think their skill would anywhere match somebody like a Tank Davis or hell even a Shakur, but the fact of the matter is, the fact that they have two belts, they won belts in two different weight divisions, already kind of puts them head and shoulders above somebody like Shakur or a Tank Davis. And honestly, maybe it's just from my personal opinion, Gervonta Tank Davis just has way too much of a stink in his personal life for me to believe that he has any sort of lasting legacy. Again, if maybe he secured any sort of belts in weight divisions other than 135, maybe he could have been able to avoid those. And that's why I kind of put Shakur Stevenson a little bit above somebody like Tank Davis, because as much as Shakur is a diva, at the very least, he's not really problematic outside of the ring. He's not bringing any sort of negative stink to the sport of boxing. He's just kind of annoying and behind the scenes. But as far as accolades in boxing, Shakur Stevenson definitely does eke out somebody like a Gervonta Tank Davis. Hell, I'll even go as far as say, I agree with your answer that Tank Davis should be the one that if he get kicked out, then the boxing world wouldn't really miss him. I'll even go as far as to rank it. At the bottom, it's going to be Tank Davis for me. At number 3, it's going to be Shakur Stevenson. Again, I already said he's the man at 140. Hell, he's even tied for number 1 for pound boxing rankings. But again, the fact that he only has any sort of claim to just one division, that's too little. That's too little for much me in the boxing world. Now, as far as number 2, I'm not gonna lie, and this is a small personal opinion of me. It's going to be Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is going to be number 2 only because the person that he beat in welterweight, let's be honest, he wasn't impressive in any sort of respect. Mario Barrios probably be one of the weakest WBC champions, especially for the welterweight division.
Lightweight.
Sorry, lightweight. And Devin Haney, I believe he actually got a better competition out of Brian Norman Jr. to win the lightweight championship. And again, I do think, technically speaking, he would be more skilled than Ryan Garcia. But that is my personal opinion. Be Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney at the tippy top. But what do you guys think about my opinion on this? Do you agree with my rankings on this? Do you agree that maybe Tank Davis has stamped a little bit more in boxing? Or do you agree with our opinion that Tank Davis wouldn't be missed so much in the world of boxing? Let us know in the comments. But what is your final thoughts on all this?
Just FYI, bro. Ryan has only won one title at 140. That's it. Yeah, he does. He never had a title before he beat Mario Barrios. Okay, but apart from that, yeah, man. Look, Tank Davis is the one, man. Unfortunately, Tank Davis just isn't doing anything impressive. You know, he was protected most of his fight career by Floyd Mayweather, and then I thought my personal hope was once he left Floyd Mayweather that he would get out there and do bigger matches, and he just didn't. He just didn't. So I can't even blame Floyd for being protective of Tank, you know, guarding the money, all that good stuff. Again, it's not to say Tank doesn't have skills. He has more skills than Ryan, in my opinion. I even think he'll beat a Devin Haney. But again, you're not doing anything. He hasn't been doing anything. He hasn't been fighting anybody. I agree with you that out of all of them, as weird as it is, man, I gotta have more respect for Debo because at least Debo went undisputed. He held all the belts. So as far as that goes, that's just the way that it is, man. Unfortunately, my pick would be Tank Davis to exit if we had to push somebody out. Listen, whoever you guys think you guys want to say should be kicked out of all these 4, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think Gervonta Tank Davis is the worst out of these 4? Do you guys think Ryan is the worst? Who do you guys think is the worst? Make sure to let us know in the comments. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.